How's it going, guys? And welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. It feels like forever I played this game. I'm gonna do some settings checkup before I should have started. Oh shit. Okay, microphone check. Okay, apparently the microphone wasn't full blast, as it shouldn't be. It's been like, I don't know how long I played this game. I even forgot whose name this character is. Oh, Emmy. Last time I played was in June 8th? Oh, that wasn't that long. Oh, that's that's more than a month ago that I last time played this. It's July 14th now. Huh. I don't really know where I was. We had that weird erotic scene. Okay. The sunlight breaks through my window shortly after my alarm ruins the morning silence. I feel sore. The events of the previous evening suddenly intrude upon my consciousness, and I find myself blushing. That was an eventful evening, and it explains perfectly the soreness in my lower back. The walk back, as I recall, had been rather tense. My trousers, having been soiled, I had washed them off in the bathroom before going back to my room. But there was still a fairly obvious-looking stain on the front. Fortunately for me, the only person I ran into my way back was Kenji, and he didn't notice a thing. Or did he? You can't really tell where he's looking with his glasses on. Well, apart from my being in the general vicinity, of course he'd ask how the night went and whether or not I'd learned anything of importance. I don't even know if I opened my mouth to answer. I was too tired to care. And this morning I'll admit that I was feeling pretty worn out. Still, Amy had promised to meet me at the track, and I'd hate to disappoint. She's indeed waiting for me, and I arrive. Doing her best to look cheery, despite the fact that she's sitting in a wheelchair, I wave to her and begin stretching. You're early. Amy frowns and shakes her head. Ridiculous. You're late. Overslept this hour? All tuckered out? Well, at least she seems more like her old self. And as expected, she doesn't seem that shy about mentioning our previous activities. Hey, you look like I could show up at all. All that cardiovascular activity last night, I nearly thought I had to see the nurse afterwards. Amy laughs out loud, then her face suddenly becomes concerned. Hey, that's not I mean, you're not... Go on, spit it out. It's just that it'd been hard to explain if you had an episode while we were... Oh! Now that you mention it, it really is a legitimate concern. I certainly hadn't thought of it last night, of course, other than more pressing concern has been had. Oh, she's talking about his heart? Is that what he was? I was a bit confused there. Well, I don't think anything we do is going to be any more of the strain than these morning runs. I handled those fine, so Amy considers this point. A devious light appears in her eyes. Say, What was those eyes? It's like the eyes of you're gonna get raped or something. You're gonna get raped. I can't even do it. The light vanishes and he grins ruefully at me. I can't help but feel vaguely suspicious. I seem to have forgotten a pair of gloves. What do you need gloves for? Amy indicates the chair upon which she is seated. For this, of course. Sure. Regular moving around is all well and good without them. But I want to be able to get a good workout. And to get this kind of speed, you gotta have gloves if you don't want blisters. So what? Are you wussing out on me then? Do I have to go do it alone? Notice the picture here? Just something I found fast. Amy thinks for a minute, or pretends to think. If I remember right, there's a spare pair of 2 in the track shed. If you still wanna do fan art to fill out the black space down here, you can still... I'm still open for, I don't know, entries, if you can call it that. But in her normal school uniform? I'd have expected her to wear her gym outfit for something like this. Wait, what are they doing there? Amy looks askance at me. Seriously? You can't think of why a shed full of track supplies at the school for the disabled would have racing gloves? Well, when she put it that way, I suppose that makes perfect sense. Hey, I'm still getting used to this place. Give me a break, huh? I guess I can let it slide this time. Now, come on, I'll need your help. I can't imagine what for, but then again, I didn't have a clue why racing gloves would be in the shed, so I'm not willing to press the issue. Amy navigates her way to the shed easily enough, though I can hear her grumbling under her breath. It's actually kinda cute. I hurry a little to reach the door first, opening it would be easier for me than for her. The door opens and Amy starts to wheel inside, only to come to a sudden halt at the doorway. It seems the door still is slightly too high for her to get over by herself. Tuk, 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 tuk. She makes a few runs at it, unsuccessfully, before crossing her eyes and glaring at the offending object. Stupid wheelchair. So, can you give me a hand here? Sure, no problem. It's a simple enough matter for me to bump Amy over the doorway, jostling her slightly. Hey, easy there. Whoops. Sorry. It's about this time that I fail to notice where I'm going and run Amy's chair into the mat. A mat. She gives a startled yelp and topples forward out of her chair. There's a moment of silence as I gaze in horror upon what I've done, and Amy glares at me. So, yes? Promise me you'll never work at a hospital. Sorry! I didn't mean to. Amy giggles and holds up a hand. Would you kindly help me back into my chair, Hisao? Cha-chan! As I bend down to pick up Amy, she grins in triumph and pulls into a kiss that quickly has us both entirely unconcerned about getting her back into the chair. In fact, as I move to the more comfortable position, I confess that the chair is pushed out the door, which startled by the passage swings shut. What? Okay, might as well. Again? Well, at least we got privacy now, which is a good thing, as my hands work quickly to remove Amy's blouse and skirt. Wow! You really are horny there, aren't you, Hisao? As soon as you get privacy, you declothe her. I then discovered that she forgot to put her bra on today. Did she plan this? Her arms hook under mine and the rest of my shoulders as I kiss my way down Amy's neck, pausing to give special attention to a spot right where the neck meets the shoulder that I found last night. You've gotten pretty good. I do try. Amy pushes on my chest insistently, and I draw back a puzzled expression. I got a confession, Hisao. Oh! Having pulled back, I decide to instead focus my attention on her breasts. As she attempts to speak, her words are interspersed with giggles that I find incredibly cute. I don't actually wear gloves. My own reply is rather mumbled onto her chest instead of being addressed to her face. You should have known. It was all a trap to have sex! Oh god! Amy's movement was almost frantic, as if she's been holding something back since we met this morning, and now she's an outlet. I'm very nearly caught off guard by her aggressiveness, feeling her nearly rip my shirt off as they wait to find a dominant position. For my part, I confess that I caught up in her attitude as well, fighting back, rolling and wrestling, even if I caress her breasts. Even her fingers dig into my shoulders and I lose track of where we are. Oh, she still has her panties on at least. So much so that I roll right off the mat and land on something small and rather hard. Ow! Amy, still flushed and breathing a little heavily, peers at me and burst into laughter. I'm sorry. Are you alright? Yeah, I think so. Not sure what I landed on though. I reach under my bag and pull up the offending object out, inspecting it closely. Personal lubricant! Lemon flavored! Wait, what? Emmy's eyes shoot open and she begins, if possible, to laugh even harder. Somehow, I don't think this isn't track related. Oh man, I know who that is. What? It's the track captains. Ah, how does she know? Ah, my old nemesis. Or kind of. How'd you know this? It's his. It appears that I've asked a stupid question, or at least Amy thinks so. Because he's the one who told me that track shed was a good place for... What did he call them? Clandestine encounters? I don't even know. Clandestine encounters? Should I Google that? Clandestine? Oh, look, Twitter. Let's see. What is clandestine? Oops. Keeps kept secret or done secretly. Oh! So it's a word. So it basically means secret encounters. Oh, he invited you to one or something? Amy burst into more laughter. I confess the sight of naked Amy laughing is oddly beautiful. I feel the eagerness to end conversation and get back to what we were doing, despite my rather pointed questioning. So, the captain's gay? Huh? Really? And here I initially thought you two were a couple. Well, I did have a crush on him first when I first joined up, but he wasn't interested. We're rival removed, so no rival there. Obviously, but we are good friends, I guess. I mean, he told me about all this, you know. I hesitate to ask. I do, but I ask anyway. But what does he need the for anyway? So, you idiot! You have your own penis! You yourself have a penis! But then again, I mean, he doesn't. How the hell does Amy always manage not to blush? Obviously, he uses it for, you know. I got him in the face! You're gonna get raped, and you know it. I try to suppress a snicker. I fail. Amy's giggling too, and he tells you about all this? Amy shrugs. Yeah, of course. He's kind of wild about the whole thing. Says it's the feeling that can't be beat. The area of the track shit seemed charged with some kind of horrible curiosity. Wait, this is the gay shag house? Shit? The shaggy shit? Shed half of gayness? If this is the captain's... No, wait. What is it? Never mind. That's interesting. I suppose I'll have to take his word for it. Well, birds outside stop chirping. The wind dies down. Of course, they're like waiting outside, listening by the door. They got no time. Ain't nobody got time for chirping. Chirping. Chip, 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 chip. So where a man is drinking a cup of coffee. He freezes with the cup on his lips. We could maybe try it. She wants to try anal? But we really haven't had real sex yet, and now she wants to have anal? He haven't even... But what? Amy's finally blushing, rubbing the back of her head ruefully. Well, it's just that we really can't do what we did last night, you know? It would be a little... It wouldn't be safe, you know? Oh, I get it. I mean, it wasn't exactly a great idea last night. So, you know, we could try this to see if it, is as good. But if you haven't tried the previous one, how do you know that the anal is just as good? Well, yeah, basically. Huh? Oh, God! Holy shit! This I can definitely not show! I cannot show this! Are you sure about this? I'm positioned behind Amy, who is looking back over her shoulder, looking a little flushed. Well, obviously, once we decide to go ahead with this idea, we had to get back into the mood. To accomplish, we emptied the bottle of lube. Here we go. I wonder if I should title this... I don't know. Yes, I'm sure. Come on, before I calm down and think too much about this. Did you look at her face? How much should I censor this? Should I only show their faces? I think I should just do the faces. I'll just censor out the bodies or the position here. Which is to be expected, I suppose. We're both so close and this is kind of delaying things. I think we're both gone temporarily insane. At least that's what's going to be my claim from here on out. I try hard not to think about the specifics of what I'm about to get myself into. There's no way this is going to be very clean. Taking a breath that is as much for me as is for her, I enter slowly. There's a lot of resistance, and it's like both our bodies are reluctant to actually go through with it. It's like I'm reading some monk hentai novel. Oh shit. Oh, well, yep, it enters. Amy's whole body tenses, as I only partially in by this point, it feels surprisingly good, if a bit odd. Amy, on the other hand, looks uncomfortable. The expression is almost comical. Should I stop? Amy brutally hitches in her throat, and it seems to take a few seconds longer than it should to formulate a reply. No, keep going. It just feels weird. She giggles. I can't blame her. I'm surprised that I even managed to form a sentence. It's hot. It feels exceedingly odd. The lip glistens unnaturally. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable to read. I continue to work my way inside her. Well, it makes me uncomfortable to read to an audience. I mean, a sex scene. I continue to work my way inside her, walking slowly and listening carefully to Amy's breathing. I reach my limit and pause. Amy looks back again, biting her lower lip. Are you going to try moving, or are we just going to sit here feeling silly? No, I just wanted to give you a chance to adjust. This doesn't make any sense. How did we even decide to do this? I don't think there's really any adjusting to this, Isao. Try moving, maybe it'll feel better. It sounds doubtful, but certainly unwilling to admit defeat now that we've come so far. I begin a slow motion that seems to work well for both of us. And Amy, and she closes her eyes in an attempt to concentrate on this new feeling. As I begin to find a rhythm, I begin to feel that familiar falling away sensation I got yesterday. I close my eyes and try to lose myself in the feeling, except it doesn't seem legit. Right! Legit. It doesn't seem right. Amy's not making any noise. I learned very quickly yesterday that Amy is somewhat less than quiet than she's enjoying herself. As I open my eyes, I see that Amy's trying to get into things, but it just doesn't seem to be working with her. For her! Her eyes are closed and she's biting her lip, but it seems to be out of toleration rather than enjoyment. I thought of, well, this was a failure, but hopefully it'll be over soon, look. I'm caught in a bit of situation here. In truth, I don't want to stop, but at the same time it doesn't seem to be doing much for Amy. Or if it is, it's coming from a far slower than I am. I feel bad. I want Amy to enjoy this too. Okay. Since you can't see it, he's grabbing her boobs. Well, he's grabbing her boob. Her right boob. Like, I reach one out to tease Amy's chest, which startles her. This in turn causes her to tighten around me considerably, causing the wave of pleasure to blindside me. Holy shit, there's movement. My hand seems to amuse Amy, but her grin quickly turns to a gasp as I move to my other hand casually down her front and begin to stroke gently at the soft patch of hair between her legs. Okay. The motion of my own hips increases as my hand ministrate. Alright, the other hand goes. I thought yeah, there was movement. His other hand goes to reach more down south. That's what I'm used to. I concentrate only on the feeling of my hands. One now slick and sliding, the other one soft and responsive. Goosebumps on her flesh, shivers and sweats down her blending. Climax causes her to tighten until finally I can't possibly. No, I can't possibly. I give a final thrust. My fingers tense around Amy's nipples, down between her legs. I guess it's safe to assume, but that he. Amy's back spasms as he arcs up in high girlish cry that echoes off the walls, and I feel the wave of my own climax annihilate all of the sensations in my body. Amy's arms give out and she falls forward, rather violently, disengaging us and pulling something dear to me in the process. The sudden switch from pleasure to pain causes me to lose my balance, and I fall forward on top of Amy. Ow! Ow! I quickly roll off Amy and prop myself up, breathing heavily and trying to ignore the pain in my crotch. Amy yelps a little. As she rolls over, she grabs a couple of tissues we kept handy earlier and cleans up before getting her panties back on and awkwardly leaning against the wall. She's still breathing heavily. I decide to sit against the wall next to her. The feeling of the cool concrete against my sweating back is a welcome sensation. More boops that hurt at the end. Yeah, this was probably not a great idea. Amy squirms in order to try and sit down beside me without too much pain. Judging by her wincing, it doesn't really work. Yeah, I'm going to have words with the captain. He was clearly lying. The utter and absolute ridiculousness of the situation suddenly hits, and I begin laughing. Amy shakes her head and begins laughing with me. Hey, Hisao! Yeah? We're never doing this again, right? Yeah, I think my curiosity is satisfied on this one. Amy nods, satisfied. Good. I think we should maybe stick to the basics, don't you? I mean, most of this is new to me anyway. What do you mean, most? Amy grins impishly. I'll never tell. An unpleasant thought strikes me. Even more unpleasant is the thought of having to ask Amy about it. Still, after what we've just done, it should be a cakewalk. Hey, is there a sink? I kinda like to wash off a little. Amy's jaw drops. In the sink? Well, there's not really anywhere else to do it, is there? And I want to avoid a smell that the nurse might notice. This is the most awkward conversation I've ever had. You're right. Yeah, it's on the back wall. There might be some soap too. Thanks. There is in fact a little hand soap, which is better than nothing. No towel though. Guess I'll have to drip dry. All finished? Yeah, that'll do for now. It's not like I'm not going to take a shower after we see the nurse. Glad to hear it. Now, help me find my clothes. You tossed them somewhere. Hey, you were no better. How am I supposed to explain the hole in my shirt, Sorry, I got a little excited earlier. Check off your damn clothes! It takes some time, but finally we're both more or less clothed. There's a frantic moment where neither of us knows where Amy's wheelchair is, but I recall it going through the door and rescue it. Now, be more careful going through the door this time, would you? Bumps are not my friend right now. I'm so sorry we tried this. And he shrugs and grins. Well, it was worth a shot, right? And anyway, it was a good exercise, right? Can't argue that. As we make our way up to the nurse's office, I noticed that Amy kept shifting uncomfortably in her seat. God, this feels weird. Good thing I'm on a wheelchair, Hisao. Why is that? Because now I don't have to explain to the nurse why I'm walking funny. Oh, we're never doing this again. The nurse is at least kind enough to not comment on the marks that Amy left on my shoulders. Nor does she have a word about Amy's constant shifting in her wheelchair. Either he didn't notice or he didn't want to notice. All the same, I'm going to have to make sure he didn't slip cyanide into my medication for a little while, just to be safe. I shower for longer than usual, just to be sure I'm clean of a little experiment, and then collapse on my bed. Class is in 20 minutes, so I can probably afford a nap. Hope you're gonna oversleep and miss class. I don't need to read that. Who's there? That's not how the joke goes at all. I already said who's there. More importantly, what time is it? Even more importantly, what day? I suddenly catapulted into wakefulness by both the fact that the knocking still hasn't stopped and the fact that it's noon on a school day. Not fully awake, I can remember why I was napping. Better not give the excuse to Muto. Sorry I wasn't in class. I was experimenting sexually with my girlfriend and it tired me out. Yeah, that'll go over well. I wonder how long this knocking is going to continue. Guess I ought to answer the door. I was strangely unsurprised to see Kenji on the other side, though it appears that Kenji is surprised to see me. What the hell are you doing here, man? Well, I was sleeping. Kenji nods in understanding. Knocked out, I see. I told you to be careful around our Ibarasaki chick, man. This is the sort of thing that happens when you're uncautious. He makes an attempt to look at the back of my head. Did she hit you with something? Or is it a drug? Stop trying to touch me. Kenji produces a flashlight and shines it in my eyes. You got a concussion? I wasn't knocked out. Maybe you just don't remember. This conversation isn't going anywhere. No, I just had a tiring morning and fell asleep. Whatever, man. If you want to be in denial about this, I guess I can't stop you. But you gotta watch out for that girl, man. She's not safe. What? She's not safe to be around. She's one of their most sinister agents. If you're not careful, there's no telling what could happen. She's brought down stronger men than you know. What the hell are you talking about? She's not an agent of anything. And she didn't knock me out, okay? I also highly doubt that she's brought down anyone at all. Kenji looks almost offended. I have no idea why. You don't believe me? That's cold, man. Real cold. I'm just trying to look out for you. That's what friends do, you know? We're friends? I had no idea. Then again, I wonder if Kenji knows about being a friend even entails. I feel something like pity for him, standing there before me. Maybe he does think he's looking out for me. I know. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for the warning. I hold up my hand in sign of peace. Oh wait, there. Kenji shakes it gingerly, like my hand could possibly be on fire. There's an awkward silence for a few seconds before Kenji remembers that he's still shaking my hand. Anyway, I need a favor. What kind of favor? I'm out of money. No. No, you aren't. You got money kept in your desk drawer under the black notebook for emergencies. Did you ransack my room? That's not important. I don't need money anyway. He does in a very serious tone. I'm about to undertake a major up. It'll blow the whole conspiracy wide open if I'm right. But it's dangerous, so I need you to do something for me in case I don't come back. Sure, man. Anything. What the hell is he planning on doing? Should I be telling someone about this? If I go missing, wait 3 days and then mail my journal off to the newspapers. It's hidden in my room under a false bottom in one of my desk drawers. How do I get into a room? I don't have a key. Kenji looks at me like I'm crazy. So pick the lock! You know how to do that, right? It's an important skill to learn at a young age. Yeah, of course I know how. I'll be sure to, do that for you if you go missing. I don't think I want to read Kenji's journal. Either way, Kenji seems pretty happy that I agreed to do this thing for him. Great, man! Great! I'll see you around. I got stuff to do. And he's gone, dashing down the hallway. He made it seem so final. I hope I don't have to carry out his final wishes. Shaking my head, I close my door and walk back to my bed. Guess I should go to class, if only to catch the last half of the day. But I've come this far without going to class today, and I did want to read more of that hawking book Muto lent me. I'm sure he'll understand. Well, great excuse. Knock, knock, knock. More knocking. And this is it for today. Hope you enjoyed this little sex scene. And, yeah. I'm gonna leave you guys with a high five.